I'm a stain on the city lock. Everyone my age, I'd rather cut my teeth than fill my pockets with shit. You know I'm blind to buy, but I just can't save. It's kinda hard to do and me to get my wage. But you don't know the thrill, yeah.
I'm Daniel. I sing and play guitar in the Roller Canes, and I live in Brunswick.
I'm Beck. I play guitar in the Roller Canes, and I'm from Ferntree Gully.
And what other members do you have in your band?
So we have Josh on drums and we have Ryan on bass.
Cool.
We all grew up maybe 5-10 minutes from each other. Beck came around to jam with us, and we were like, oh, you live 5 minutes from here. That's sweet. So we all sort of knew the area, and same people I reckon we knew. Yeah, we've all been to the Irish at Knox, and all had similar experiences there.
So who would you say Roller Canes are inspired by musically, and where do you sort of draw your influence from?
It's changed a bit over the years. It sort of started out a bit like the Strokes. For me, it's been very heavily influenced by Wilco and Car Seat Headrest in the last couple of years. And Big Thief and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a shift, but I mean, everyone brings something different.
I'm kind of influenced by whoever I'm listening to at the time, and kind of try and bring elements of them to the band to try and, not keep writing the same sort of songs.
How do you guys begin songs, and what's the journey from start to finish with your songs?
Before COVID, me and Dan would go, he's got a little studio, and we'd go there and we'd jam on a couple ideas and try and get a whole song out of it, and then we'll go and we'll show it to the band, and then it'll change again with the kind of influences they bring to everything.
It has been different since Beck joined. Originally I was doing a lot of the writing by myself, and then the songs always change the moment you bring them to the band, but having Beck in, it's become so much more of a collaboration process.
Has that been your process for Cops on Bikes? So when did that song sort of come to fruition and sort of begin to form?
That was one that I had an idea for it. I was on my way to work, and I saw some cops pulling over people in cars on Swan Street in Richmond, and it was I don't know, I just was that just sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Just it's a song title, and I went and I started working with it, and it just sort of became this really fun song. We tried it a few different ways in the band, and then Beck had this awesome guitar bit that she came up with after the first chorus, and I think that was where I thought it became a proper song.
And what was it like releasing that during the pandemic?
It's been interesting because at this point it's only been out properly for a week. We had a song that we released, Life's Good, which came out. We were meant to launch that pretty much the weekend that Melbourne went into lockdown the first time.
And that was so shattering. We were so excited to launch this song, and then a few days before we had to cancel everything, and Dan just did a live stream to kind of promote the song a bit more. But it sucked that we weren't able to play a show and, actually properly launch it. Yeah,
that was tough. But I think with this one, we had a bit more time to prepare.
So did you record that song prior to lockdown? I mean Cops on Bikes.
Oh, Cops on Bikes. Yeah, that was done in January. So we were lucky. We sort of just went into the studio, got that. Our mate Nick came down, took a bunch of photos, and we've just been basically running with all of that same content for the last couple of months. And same with the new song Private Beach.
With Private Beach, what can people expect from that song, and is it similar or different to Cops on Bikes?
It's definitely a bit more in your face than Cops on Bikes. Yeah, one of the heaviest ones that we have. I feel Cops on Bikes is a lot more chilled and laid back compared to it.
It creeps up on you, the intensity. It starts off pretty chill, and then you're whoa, I did not expect it to go this way, which I love. I think that's awesome.
Well, that's kind of good. That's what we were going for.
It's by far my favorite one to play live, because as soon as it hits in, it goes off. It is really fun.
Yeah, I think people sort of get the impression when we do it live, people are oh, here we go. It's just Another song where the lead singer is trying to take all the spotlight, do his own thing, and then like the full band comes in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome. Beck, and like Beck's bit in that song is like the best thing I've ever heard in a Roller Games song. It's so good.
We worked on like from scratch together.
Yeah, it would have been.
What is Private Beach about? What can people expect from the lyrics of that song?
Private Beach is I think it's about feeling a bit disenfranchised. Just as a young person, and there's a bit of a through line, I think, with our music at the moment, where it's all about sort of trying to be an artist and just make your way through, and having like people with lots of money tell you to stop complaining and that sort of thing. And I think that's where like, that's the essence of Private Beach, is like, you know, just being like, this is just who we are. Like the whole thing is about cutting your teeth and, you know, not really having the money to buy a house at the end of the day. And that, you know, all that classic, young millennial shit. Like, yeah.
What does the title mean for that song?
Yeah, we're up in Queensland, and we're going through this part of Queensland, and I just saw there were like these people with these just huge mansions that like they can just walk straight out onto the beach, and they had these signs where like you couldn't go onto that part of the beach. And I was just thinking like, how shit a person do you have to be to like stop people from going on like a bit of beach? You know, people that can sort of afford everything.
That's such a cool topic to write about. I would not even think to go deep into that sort of topic.
Thanks. Yeah, it's one of those ones I think that you probably can't think too hard about before you start on it. Otherwise, you'd come up with something a bit artificial.
How has lockdown been for you guys as a band as a whole?
It's been like semi-productive, I guess. I feel like, you know, we're trying to work with what we've got and still trying to push forward with things, but you know, obviously it's hard because we can't go out and gig and go out and, you know, network and stuff like that. But I think we're doing well considering everything that's going on.
I haven't worked in a couple of months now, so I've just been like focusing completely on the band. It feels good to be like a full-time musician. Yeah. We talk pretty much every day and plan stuff, and it just sort of feels like if we don't do it, like we're going to come back and we're going to have to start all over again. You know, feel like you're not going to be forgotten at the end of it.
Have you found it beneficial being able to focus more on the release of these songs and being able to sort of get to know social media a bit better, or has it been pretty similar to how you would usually release a song? It's
been real different. Like Beck, you saw us, you've released 2 songs with us now. Like, how have you found it?
Like it's definitely easier in the sense that, you know, we can't go out and do certain things, so you kind of have to substitute it with other things that you can do at home. Motivation wise, it is kind of like a bit of a killer because we can't see each other, we can't hype each other up. You know, for future releases, it'll be good to have, you know, both sides of things going when we can go out and see each other and promote it in other ways.
It feels really strange being able to focus completely on a single rather than trying to be like, I've got to get this single out, I've got to email all these people, I've got to, you know, talk to as many people as I can about it. Oh, and I've also got to organize an event and make sure that these bands don't pull out or whatever. And so like, it's been good to focus just completely on the song.
So after you release Private Beach, which is super exciting, what's the next step for the Roller Canes?
I don't want to call anything too soon and like just straight up be lying if things don't happen. We've got music recorded, and I'm slowly sort of getting through and mixing it. And I think it's more like, I just don't know what's going to happen. So we've sort of planned for this period, maybe up until October, November, and just, you know, focusing on the releases and taking our time with them. Obviously
we want to release stuff, but it's just a matter of being able to do it before, you know, you don't want it to get too late in the year and then release stuff. Yeah. Want to promise anything and then, you know, not get it done.
I feel like we've been really, like, thinking about it now, I probably should have thought about this for the interview, but we have been so much more productive now. I'm just realizing, oh, we have actually been productive.
So I try to